All right. The aftermath is over. Fort Myers is was underwater, and now it's history. Yeah, nobody should move there. Then again, I guess nobody should live here at all. But Florida is terrible. That area. Of course, Miami isn't much better. Miami just waiting to get wiped out. So all the coast is clear where I am. But yeah, there's just a lot of dragon energy, and you guys can see that's a dragon attack, something like that. So there's definitely an astral war going on. Yeah. So do the Enki. I haven't heard from Enki in a long time. This is an Anunnaki connection. Also Shiva, the Indian god. I haven't done that in a long time either. And the new Atlantis. I just felt that energy is coming through. It's, of course, you hear about the new Earth all the time. Of course, we're not really seeing a whole lot of that. I guess there's versions of it. Of course, the UFO disclosure and all that. The alien's going to come and save us and all that. We have to save ourselves first. It's a lot has to change here. That's going to be a tough one. Doesn't mean you can't have alien disclosure individually. That can easily happen still. But, if you're on the right track, you probably won't get a visitation. If you're off track, then they'll show up. All depends on the situation. Just the negativity here has to, they talk about the positive energies here, but the negativity here within the individuals here has to really, become half. That would help, like cut itself in half somehow. Of course, I went to the beach today. Of course, it was empty. That's the way to be there. During the day, I don't know how the people do it. Especially when the sun's like 100 degrees. I can't do that. So, I haven't been to the beach. Since I've lived here, I've never been to the beach. Of course, I've lived here forever, but since I've lived here, it's been a year. Anyway, it's not that important. Enough of that. So send our prayers to Fort Myers. If anybody's wondering, I'm okay. I'm okay. Cats are okay. They're sleeping. Fritzy was losing her mind for a while. I think she's doing okay now. So it's a lot of energies going on currently. All right, we have Avatar.com. We have private sessions. We have the scheduler. We have the shop here. Around 9/11 or I guess I'm around the 21st a little bit. Not really. Today's kind of a slow day to get enter the same situation here. The new site, it says ET Social Space. Something a little bit different. It's kind of like an anti-Twitter, anti-everything. So you can create your own. Also have the other social network and behind the scenes. If there's something else I forgot, and so be it. So, all right. Thank you for joining us. It's not so windy. It was windy yesterday. The rain was not that heavy here. Of course, when you get closer to Fort Myers, now this is the same thing that happened in 2004. They said it was going to hit my area, and it slammed into Fort Myers even stronger than 2004. And some reason people moved there for some bizarre reason. Either they didn't know the history or I think they would know something. But yes, Fort Myers got freaking wiped out in 2004. Then they rebuilt it. The trees are still all screwed up from it. I went out there on 2017, something like that. And you can still see the hurricane damage. But now they have a lot more hurricane damage now. Jeez. A lot of retirees live there. It's just not a place to live. It really is. There's absolutely nothing there. So just, it is quaint. It is quiet there. There's nothing there, though. There's nothing in Naples either, but that's more upper class. So either way. So, all right. Yeah, I don't know. The end of negativity here. I mean, like I say, the world really has to change. We're not seeing a lot of that, but you never know. So, okay, we're going to Enki, Shiva, and the new Atlantis, whatever that is. So, all right, so blessings. Here we go. Grease you. Yes, I am the energies of Enki. Blessings. There is, yes, a war still going on. It's how humans react and the emotion side of it, the fury, the passions. Humanity is very passionate on so many different levels, and it's just a curiosity of that. Of course, our DNA echoes within your society. Our experiences echo within you. Is this to see that you're passionate? How part of why we're so fascinated by your world is the dedication this planet puts into itself. As a society, even if you are divided, and the divide is the alien gods involved with your divide. You cannot not see them in your skies. Of course, they are sky gods, of course, but they put you all against each other. And now it's up to you to come together. And some of you are, especially the conspiracy theories. Many of them are, yes, they might not like the elite, but they're becoming more friendly towards each other. There's still a lot to learn there. But the idea is for your conspiracy theories to give your theorists, to give your elites a hug and show thank you for what we've learned from you. Now we can all come to, obviously, it's easier said than done. Obviously, there's a lot of trickster beings too. So, yes, it's good not to rest on your laurels too much. But even us as alien beings, we're attacked by dark entities all the time, as you are. And to remove those frequencies, obviously, is not easy. Obviously, you're using trickster frequency to put you backwards, put you back in time, put you back in the 1970s. A lot of that's archon energy. I mean, alien beings can cause some difficulties, but the archons are usually the strongest. They want you at a certain time period. They don't want you to know yourselves. So obviously, trickster beings are constantly feel like they are smarter than you. In a lot of ways, they are. But it's basically for you to overcome the world of manipulation that put around your world. As Anunnaki energies, we have become, even ourselves, become lost here. With all the alien beings download their knowledge onto the earth, and then a lot of it is used against humanity. And the humans are still learning how to love each other, as you can see, even though they call it a marriage. It's interesting, the marriage, people get into a marriage, but then they end up becoming some of the biggest enemies on the planet. So, and sometimes that's done on purpose. It's like two individuals that absolutely love each other can also love each other. So it shows you on different levels when you see the good guy and the bad guy going at it, and then they all of a sudden make out with each other, get married, show they do care about each other, and then they show how much they hate each other. So they bring out the light in each other, they bring out the darkness within each other. So the marriage is quite fascinating. It's like anytime anyone mentions a marriage, it's like, have you two done this before? Most likely they have. It's like attracting, and they can cause a war. Now some do get married and it's actually peace, love, and happiness, but a lot of times just love thy enemy. So you see, like the marriage energy, obviously, when you look at it a little bit deeper, as some of you know, it's like, oh, this isn't going to last. Well, gee, I wonder why. Probably because, but it shows, I mean, if they're going to love each other and hate each other with that type of passion, that says a lot. And then when you're done with your fight, so you've shown the love of that relationship and you show the ugly of the relationship. And after that, it's like, okay, we've accomplished that side. But anytime you see in these movies or any type of entertainment or in history, you see two individuals actually loathing each other. Most likely they're getting married on some reality somewhere, living together, taking a bath together, and eventually hating each other. Stop and repeat. Stop and repeat. Just keeps on going. But there are timelines when they finally get over each other. Finally, that can take a long time though. So if you don't put a lot of hate into somebody and just say, okay, you go over there, and I want to marry you, that can end. That can stop a lot. Yeah, if you don't want to marry somebody, they want to marry you, and you just want to keep that marriage away from you. That's good. That's another way of making closure. So we might look at matrimony much differently. Yeah, there's a lot of layers within that that humans have no clue on. Of course, you see it. You usually when you hear, like I say, you feel the vibration of somebody get married. It's like, how long is this going to last? Yeah, because they're going to end up tearing each other apart. Not always, but usually. If you can make it work, it says a lot. That says absolutely a lot. That means you're creating new contracts there because you can easily rip each other to pieces. That's usually how it works. Some just get down to, okay, we're just going to tear each other to shreds, but not always. So, yeah, it gets more convoluted when you get into that. It's like you're marrying somebody you've had relationships, like they're part of your bloodline at one time. I mean, you're part of your family at one time. It gets weird there. But another reason you connect to somebody like that it's almost like you get married. Some do get married to a person to just break that contract. It's like, okay, you're married for some time, then you break the contract and you break it all together. So it's different ways of looking at it. Because sometimes you can't get rid of certain individuals. You find a way to do that here. As for your economy and all of this, of course, there's Anunnaki, of course, part of your political system. A lot of it is in Germany because that is like where your mad scientists are, or political scientists, or however you want to look at it. Some of your more powerful trickster beings are there. As you can see, what brought you into World War II. And the war has not fully ended. Not really. You're kind of in a version of World War III at this point. Maybe not with the bombs, but within society, it's kind of a World War III scenario. Especially when you're talking about Armageddon. Civil War, Armageddon. It's happening within society, within the home. It's not the bombs and all that. We don't see it going to that level. It could, but we don't see it going into that vibration. But obviously, the divide, to realize why so many humans are so divided, is that there's alien groups, obviously with Enki and Enlil. The Enki mindset has one way that has been given to the people to look at the world a certain way, live a certain way. And Will has his own way of doing it. And then you have the infighting. So take that to all the other gods that are out there that are here to influence. Of course, it's up to you as an individual to just choose as you wish. Maybe you become neutral, but the system here, especially the monetary system is one way to kind of keep you all together. It has like a web. It's like it's almost, I won't say you get stuck, but in some cases it does seem that way. But also the energies of the earth needs you where you are. So it's difficult for you to go somewhere else because of financial reasons, as you know. Like some of you have traveled the world, but right now the world needs you for where you are currently. Obviously, that's difficult for many to accept, but it has its purposes. It's just for now. As eventually humanity takes more back its power, the financial system will fall. But it has to take its power back on so many different levels. On a political level, on a criminal level, on a financial level, you basically upgrade. So, like with crime, you see crime before it happens, heal it, and help you go into more of a fourth dimension environment. Basically, you will avoid catastrophes within each other, such as with famine that's happening here, food stress. So many are just disconnected. But you're slowly going into that reconnection. It's going to take some time. As for alien energies, obviously you have aliens here all everywhere, of course. You just turn that part off of your chakras, and you're here to react. You always had the ability to reactivate it. Obviously, some are having difficulties with it, but sometimes they're not always ready to turn the lights on. So there's a lot of times your guides, you have certain lessons where you need to be currently. So it's like some of you feel like you're in school, you're in the classrooms, like, I already know all this. You're ready to walk out the door. Well, the guides say no. You have to sit here and endure for as long as you need to. That's a hard one, as you may know. This is greetings to you. I am Shiva. Greetings, yes, the Indian god, Indian energies. Realize, oh yes, with 4 arms. Well, sometimes you need an extra arm just to show not necessarily your power, but it's just that you have more flexibility. That there's just many more things you'd like to do. Some of you would like to grow an extra arm, or a few more hands, things of that kind. There are realities where there are 4-legged people, or 4-armed people, and 4-legged people actually. Some of that does come from Mars. Of course, the humans don't fully understand your Martian connections as of yet. There's still a lot to just understanding of yourself. Of course, a lot of us from India come from Lemuria, we say version of Lemuria. Basically, to see through the soul, see through the mind, see through all the animal energies, and just see all the elements of the universe. Basically, you're on one planet, but technically you're on thousands of worlds at once. And some of you probably feel some of that. You're not just here, you're in many places. It's just, yes, the world is dense. The world, actually, this planet, notice how much strange to some of you, but this world actually wants to be loved. It doesn't feel loved. As some of you probably can look at this world. I mean, some of you do love the planet. But how many really do love this world? Not necessarily, you remove all the problems. Of course, you can still love all the problems if you want to. Love the problems. I mean, there are some that just absolutely love this place and maybe get obsessed with it. But to love the planet for what is giving to you, not many pay attention to the world itself. You see the conflict, you see that it's always thrown at you, but actually connected to Earth's frequency, disconnecting to the Earth, yes, brings elemental beings to you, dragon beings, the mythology beings. And that is how us, the alien beings of your mythology, we just dived into your planet's frequency. And just think of us as just energy. Energies come into your planet. We connect to your field and come out like Shiva or Enki, or wherever it might be. And now we are this type of force. And that it's teachers, basically. All your gods are teachers. Of course, they still have a lot to learn from themselves. But every god is like here to maneuver your planet. Yes, you're in a giant school, a university. And obviously, there's a lot of infighting going on still. There's so much diversity. Well, just that curriculum here is not clear. It's like what you're learning here is hidden, but you are here to discover it. And that's what your lifetime is about. It's about discovering about yourself, your talents. You're just opening up your layers of you. So how do you do that? You just live every day. Yes, you do take chances. Obviously, be careful with your chances. You don't have to climb a mountain. Some of you need to, but not everybody. So, what kind of chances some of you need to take a risk for you to grow? Now, I realize not they don't always have to take a risk, but some of you need to achieve to figure out who you are, because you can go your whole life not figuring yourself out, as many do. They go to their work, they go to their relationship, and they feel stagnant their whole lives because they haven't quite seen they haven't been curious about who they are. They do to a certain level, but there's much more further you can go. Obviously, there's timelines that can't always see everything. But it's another thing is like you really want to know about yourself, you close your eyes and say what comes to you. Some people, well, I'll just say it, some people might see themselves as a rat, or yes, an insectoid being, a cockroach. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But some of them seem as a rabbit energy, a owl. You have different aspects. Of course, many of you do have alien memories. Of course, many of you connect to your alien lifetimes. Obviously, you want to go back to those realities where you feel more accepted and you do here. You come to a world that doesn't accept anybody. But that has to do with the controllers here. They don't love anybody. And not just they're humans. Some of them are human. A lot of them are alien beings. They just don't want to welcome anybody here. They just want this world for them. They just want humans off this planet. I think some of you know that. Some of you do. Yeah, you feel like you're unwanted on this planet. I think some of you can feel that. That's the alien presence here. That's the insecure alien presence. Yes, they show you a kingdom, a royalty family, of the royals, the English, and all these others. They show where they're better than you and why you're here. You're just taking up space. Look at us. We are at this monarchy. And obviously, they're showing somebody feels like they're better than you, even if not all the royals think that. A lot of them don't. A lot of them, they don't even know why they're in those positions half the time. Like, this is kind of messed up. And they probably feel like they're more primitive than anybody. And a lot of times they are. Some of you are more advanced and can do a lot more, have more talents than a lot of them would ever have. Not to insult the royal families, but it's true. So, yeah. But some of you rejected the royalty timelines for obvious reasons because you don't want to mock your society, as some are doing, don't even realize it. It's a different way of looking at all of this. But you're connecting more to, so everybody here has a royalty connection. Even if you don't, that doesn't mean it has to be an energy of snobbery. But it's just you're here for a reason. But there's just so much more to your individual incarnation too. It's all a mystery, yes. But you're here to unravel it by just being you. There's so many different levels. Obviously, many are connected to alien beings, like aliens, where are you? We need our ship to get off this planet. This is not my planet, and it isn't. But it's a world that needs you. And you're here for a reason to learn its lessons. What are those lessons? It's a lot of insecurity on this planet. The beings that are controlling this world are insecure, and you're feeling it. They're the most isolated being. Think about like a moon out in the middle of nowhere. Like think about like a bunch of creature beings on that planet. So they're very powerful but very lonely. And they come to your planet and they take over it and they try to kick everybody off, which they're doing right now. They're trying to do it. They can't do it, but you're here to take your planet back and see it all. See everything that's here. Many of you know, maybe you're on a spiritual level, you're seeing it, but many in the physical still aren't quite grasping it. You have a even energy out. Some of you are high vibrational, others are just humans, common energy. You're working towards more of an awakening. Obviously, you're a common man who they'll understand to a certain level, but they realize many are not quite ready. So you are always preparing for what some of you are just ahead of the game. But the rest of the world has to be prepared for it. You have to strengthen themselves for it. Greetings to you. Greetings. We have the Atlantean frequencies. You can say we lost our sense of self, our opportunities. We could have learned more. We are learning about ourselves now. But yes, we could have assisted your world to be much easier. But yes, you can say some Atlantean beings had a lot of ignorance. But I feel like it can go on forever. Peacefulness can go on forever, just like some of your corporations, so they can live forever. But eventually, civilizations die. And that's what happened to our world. We, as Atlantean beings, we pretty much gave everything we can. Yes, many did things they should not have done. And that did cause a lot of the fortune. But we believe your world would have found this direction no matter what, because it was like predestined to go more into the lower astral realms to understand. It had the capabilities of it. It's just as Atlantean energies, we're kind of preparing it for its fall. I know we were here for a long time. Well, we feel like this world was always going to go into this direction no matter what. No matter who was here, it would find a way. Yeah, so you have the pyramids as a beacon, and there's other anomalies of your ancient world, mysteries that, of course, is many not to be solved. Well, as you become more energy beings, which you can, solve the puzzle of a lot of these ancient, sites, the sacred sites, the pyramids, South America, Bolivia, and so on. And things you just know. Now you have this to happen now, but truly you go to the pyramids and reactivate them. But you're doing that to a certain level, but not the level that it can truly get. And there is many that are connected to Israel that can reactivate the pyramids. It's just not time yet. So Bolivia will be activated also. There's a lot of ancient Atlantean energy there. This in South America. Well, those are the Atlanteans. Is want to leave some kind of mark, some kind of knowledge here, because there's still teachers here as the world forgot itself. So just to leave, and obviously there's much more that's been lost, but just to give you a little bit more of a hint of where you came from, even if it doesn't make any sense. But as you evolve, you just on an intuition level, you'll just know. And like I said, many of you are already on that path. But to activate these sacred sites will be, that's when your world truly goes into the fourth dimension. Like I said, there are some activations going on, of course. But I believe these sites want to stay shut down. They feel, even the pyramids themselves feel like people are not ready quite yet. Because as the pyramids reactivate, the world won't be the same anymore. It'll be more fourth dimensional. It'll be lighter. But the world is not quite there just yet. The Hathor beings are there, of course. There's many tall alien beings walking around around Giza. It's just that's like the remnants of Atlantis, of course, but it's all across the world. But Atlantis, basically, it's there are beings during time of Atlantis that knew that Atlantis was going to fall. So the creation of Egypt was kind of like the sister site.